Hi, my name is Dave Waymer, or more commonly called Daisy, but I'm going to show you how to start a professional model chainsaw as they're used in the BC coastal forest industry. To start with here is we want to make sure we have all the proper personal protective gear or PPE. So want to have muffs, ear muffs that work. We want to have a screen that works. We want to have a high-vis vest or shirt of some sort that easily seen. You want to have long sleeves. You want some kind of gloves on. Cotton gloves work well. You need a pair of protective pad pants as described in the PPE video, and they have to be protective of up to 3,600 feet per second of chain speed, or feet per minute of chain speed, sorry, as is required by WorkSafe BC. And you want some solid kind of boots. If you're going to be walking on logs, you want to have cork boots. With the saw, we'll just make sure the saw is ready to go safely, is that we want the chain tensioned properly, so it just should be able to just barely lift it up out of the bar, but not much. We want the chain brake to be functioning. This is an important, very important safety feature. So you can check that by you can push and move the saw back and forth and move the chain. If we put the chain brake on, it won't move now. It's hung up. That's stopping the chain from moving. There's also the chain stopper mounted on the dog here that will catch the chain if it does come off the bar. There's a throttle lock, which is this thing on top of the pistol grip, that when that's not pushed down, the throttle can't be pushed on inadvertently. When you do grip the pistol grip, then the throttle can be operated properly. There's a decompression button at the top of the saw that you push in, and that will make the saw easier to turn over, so it's easier to start. There's the choke, which is when it's pulled up also will choke the saw so it's easier to start when it's cold. And it also engages a high idle lever inside on the carburetor. This can be a bit of a problem if the saw started for some reason and you didn't have the brake on, because the chain would then be turning, which could cut you, so you could potentially cut yourself just because the saw is idling fast. So it's good to disengage that, and just by clicking the throttle, it disengages the high idle, and it'll just go back down to a low idle. And the switch, there's the on-off switch here that's towards the pistol grip is off, and out towards the edge it's turned on. So now, we'll start with the demonstration of how to start the saw. So we want our earmuffs down, we want our screen down, and we want the chain brake on, engaged, make sure it's going to work. We need the switch on and the choke pulled out. And we're going to push in the decompression switch to make it easier to pull over. So now we're going to lay the saw over the logs, the chain, so that the bar is on the far side of the log, the saw can't get at you. And I'm going to pull it over a couple of times just to get the gas into it until it fires. Okay, so now I'm going to put this choke in and click the throttle to disengage the high idle. And now that with a bit of luck, the saw should start. The saw is running now. Hold the bar on the log, put your finger pull the brake off, and now the saw is ready to go. Alright, now put the brake back on, and shut the saw off. Just as a review here, is that making sure you have that brake on, that's a very important part of this operation, is having the brake on when you start the saw. Is using the choke and then using the throttle to disengage that high idle. Having the switch on, it needs to be on obviously to run. That's how one starts one. Starts the saw. This video is intended for somebody who's considering taking a saw course, and just as a preview, or as a review perhaps for somebody who's taken the saw course but maybe hasn't started saw for a while and just wants to review it. If you're haven't ever started a saw like this before, then I would recommend that you don't try to start one without an instructor or somebody who's familiar with these kind of saws with you when you do start it for the first time. So thank you.